Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
Do you love the Tabernacle Choir? This year, the choir's music is everywhere you are. Listen to your favorite choir songs and music and the spoken word anytime you want on Alexa by simply enabling the skill.
Alexa, play music in the spoken word.
Now playing music in the spoken word.
You can also download the Tabernacle Choir app, subscribe to the choir on YouTube, listen on Spotify, and have access to all their wonderful music. Happy listening.
97.5, the KSL Sports
There's
Zone.
the man himself.
Joining us now, the head coach at Arizona State, Kenny Dillingham. Coach, how are you?
Good. How are y'all?
We're doing great. I know this isn't your favorite thing to do in the world, but we appreciate you coming by and talking a little bit about your program. We've had a few of your players on, and one thing that's really resonated with them that they've talked about is the fact that they know that you've got their back in terms of raising money to, for NIL, and they appreciate that. Obviously, that helps out you in talent acquisition and talent retention, but just how important is that to make that statement to your locker room, like, I'm in this with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in it with them. Like, we have one vision. We're one team. We're all in the same boat. We're all rowing together. I'm not in the front. I'm not in the back. I'm just in there. And I think, everybody's got a job to do and a role to do in a team setting, right? My role is not to stand and tell everybody to row. My job is to row with them and teach everybody when to do it. Like, let's do this together. Everybody's got their own skills. Everybody's got their own role. And how do we all do this together? How do we all get the goal accomplished as one? And I think that's what I just try to reiterate in the program is we're all in this together. Coaches, players, everybody involved. We all got to push in the right direction.
Your background is in developing quarterbacks, and that's going to be a key once again for you this year. And I'm curious, what is the key to developing a good quarterback?
I think you got to understand them as a person. I think you got to understand, like, why do they throw the ball downfield when they shouldn't? Why do they turn it over? Why don't they throw the ball quick game? Why do they like to scramble? I think you got to understand, like, oh, well, this guy is a perfectionist. If it's not perfect, he's the guy who turns his toothbrush. Well, if it's not the perfect thing that it's exactly right, and he's athletic, he's been making athletic plays his whole life. He's going to play off platform. That's his comfort zone. So I think you got to truly understand who the person is, how they're wired, and then develop a system around the wiring of that person. If that person wants to be in control, he's a control freak, give him control. If that person doesn't want to be in control, call the play. I'm a loose guy anyways. Call a play, and I'll make it right because I play free. Well, then call it like that. So I think you got to truly understand the personality of your guy, what he wants, and then be willing to change your system around what that guy wants to maximize him.
Guy walks off the field after throwing an interception. What's the first one or two things you talk to him about or ask him?
What did you see is the first thing. Not what I saw. What did you see? And then it depends on who the quarterback is. I mean, some quarterbacks respond to competitiveness, like get into it, and you got to challenge them. Some quarterbacks you want to, you don't want to challenge them. That's not their mindset, right? If you challenge them, there'll be conflict that's not productive. So it just depends on who you're coaching. I think, but the first thing I always say is, what do you see? What did you see? What did you see? The second thing is completely based off who I'm coaching. Is how am I going to coach this guy now? Is it going to be tough love? Is it going to be, hey, I know you saw that, but, and I think that's the challenge of coaching is be able to manage that mentality of the player throughout the game.
I knew he wasn't going to miss it.
The Sun Devil himself.
The Sun Devil
Yes.
himself.
Okay. He was off, and we called him, and then I knew he was going to come running.
2 miles in 21 minutes.
Wow.
In this, I grew up in Phoenix. If it ain't in the teens, right, Coach?
So, go ahead.
Go ahead, PK. We were talking quarterbacks. We're pretty much just getting started, so jump in where you want.
I don't know if you remember, Coach, but 2 years ago, your first year in the league, when we were doing it at Vegas, Tamaro wanted to introduce you to me because of my connection. And so I was sitting next to the table talking to Whittingham. And I stood up, and so we were right there, you and me, Whittingham's right here. And you said, I want to build a program like him. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you pointed. I mean, we could touch his shoulder. His back was to us. And so you're on your way. And the one thing we've covered Kyle forever. I mean, I'm a golfing buddy of his. We're the same age and everything and whatever.
Does he beat you?
No, not yet. he took it up late.
Okay.
And I was a teen, like 14. It was $1.50 to play in Canto. And then Bel Air out on 51st and Bell, right? I know you're from the other side of town. But the one thing he did really well was when he was the underdog, overachieve. He was the king of overachieving. You guys were the underdog 2 years ago, big-time overachieving. Last year, I think there were some injuries, there's no question about it. And now this year, you're kind of down a little low, maybe middle of the pack. What do you like as far as expectations and being able to potentially overachieve them? Because, as I say, Whittingham did that for 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, I like the underdog mindset. I like, getting it out of the mud. I always want a team that's going to be physical, that's going to be tough. Like, you play us. I mean, like, these guys aren't going to quit. Toughness is one of our pillars of our program, not just physically but mentally. Like, I want people to feel how tough we are, how physical we are, to see us respond to adversity. We didn't do that as good last year as we did in years prior. I still thought we did a good job last year, but not as good. So I want to see our toughness. And I think that's really the key, and that's something that, Coach Whittingham built Utah was every time you knew you were going to play, you knew you were going to, you better strap it up. It's going to be on.
Are you born with toughness, or can you develop it as a coach?
I think you can develop it. It's really just what you allow and what your mindset allows. You can develop mental toughness through being challenged, and then obviously physical toughness is the team culture. Like, either you're going to be tough and rise to the team culture, or you're not, and you're never going to play. So I think if your best players are tough, you got to recruit the toughness because you can't obviously convert 50% of your team can't be soft and become tough. You've got to have a nucleus of tough to raise the level of the guys that maybe naturally that's not their game, and then they figure it out and they realize they have to play with that style. So I think once you get that culture going, then it's just about sustaining that culture, and hopefully the root of your team will always have those core values.
Is that hard to identify in recruiting?
It is. But it is and it isn't. Some guys and then some both ways. It's the guys that are in the middle that you're in the middle on is like he could go either way that you got to be careful. But I think going into that's a great comment. You've got to recruit to your culture. You can't be scared to miss on guys. You can't be scared to say no to talented guys. You got to be willing to say, okay, we could get this guy, but it's not about the guys we don't get. It's about the guys we get. And if all the guys we get are rooted in our type of substance, well, we're probably going to wind up being pretty good. If we take too many chances on guys that are talented but aren't rooted in our substance, there's a chance that, they can divide and they can actually pull away from everybody else's X factor, which is, whether it's your toughness or your intelligence, whatever that you feel is your X factor as a program.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
So, watching you from afar, obviously you've really leaned into Arizona State, and working with PK, we get a little, inside and notice those things and leaned into the community. And forgive me, Ignite the Valley?
Activate the Valley.
Activate the Valley. Thank you. So sorry. Have you noticed the difference? Like, has it moved the needle with the community in Arizona State and accomplishing what you want to accomplish?
Well, we've sold out of our last 9 or 10 home games, right, which didn't happen in years prior. And we're a major city, so we're one of the largest cities in the country, which most of the time large cities don't sell out collegiate games, right? There's usually a correlation there.
NFL cities.
Right, there's their NFL cities. We've sold out games. We're talked about on the radio as much as any other or most other pro sports teams in the city. We've sold out or very close to selling out all season tickets this year. All premium seats sold out. They're building more premium seats because they need more inventory to sell. So we are creating an environment where this is where you want to be. And in college football, if you don't have a home field advantage, you have no chance to have seasons that you expect, right? Because college football is a drastic change when you have a good home field advantage. You're talking 7 to 10 points with a good home field advantage. So if you can create an unbelievable home field advantage, it's not just something that's fun for your athletic department to collect more money. It produces wins, and that's what we've been trying to create here is that activating the Valley and getting people involved. I think we've done that. Now we just got to maintain it.
Your first question after the U of A game 2 years ago, your first year, what are you going to do next? And you said one word 3 times, funways, funways, funways. And then you went out, and I know you got the practice facility. I've seen the drawings and all that stuff. And this a guy named, is it Sweeten?
Brian Sweetie.
Yeah, Sweetie, with the $10 million. And you talk about how, okay, we caught up, but now we have to catch up to the people who passed us while we were catching up, basically, right? I mean, I listened to everything you say down there. And we saw Randy Bennett when he got in. They had a center, and he said, well, he went to Gonzaga. We couldn't pay him. I mean, he was just flat out said it. And obviously you had a quarterback and a running back leave. What can be done, or how close are you to being to that point where those guys won't leave for the money?
Yeah, I think, for us, we've had 4 guys in our 2-deep leave in 2 years. That's pretty good. To have 4 guys in your 2-deep leave in the last 2 portal cycles is a positive. It shows what we're doing. You're not going to bat 1,000. It's not going to happen. And nowadays, college football is more like baseball than it is the NFL.
Sure.
So you got to be very strategic with how you do things. So I think for us, where are we? I'm not going to get into the nuance of where that is. Do we need more? Absolutely. I think every coach, this is a race, and you're always running it, and nobody's running it right next to you. So, if you speed up, what's the person next to you going to do? They're going to speed up.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's the world we're in. So when we run faster, they run faster. Well, then we got to run faster. The question is, who continues to run faster first, or who continues to catch up? Some people are always reactive, and some people sprint to take the lead. And those people that sprint to take the lead have a little advantage for a year. Then everybody else catches up. Then they sprint again. Little advantage for a year. The other people are just always one step behind. So my goal for the program is to start being the team that takes the lead and not catches up.
And then how much will be the local focus that could set the tone? I know all about the golden ticket, and I thought you passing the food over the fence, I think, to your sister, which sent a message, I'm here, I'm staying here. I got it. I think that's what you were doing. I understand that. And because, they all live on the block, and you've spoken about that. And I know you can't talk about recruits, but I can. And I know you got the kid, was it from Basher or somewhere in the East Valley, the Hildebrand kid, and I know you can't talk about him. But do you think that making significant inroads there can really send the message to Texas, to California, of what we're doing? We're going to get the local kids too, in addition to these other guys, and bring them all together.
Yeah, obviously we want to attract local talent. I think the best teams in the country keep their local talent home. You're not going to bat 1,000, but if you can keep 50% of your local talent home, that would be an unbelievable hit rate, regardless of what state you're in. That's an incredible hit rate if they stay at your institution. If you got 50% of the best players, that's probably better than most people. Most states are in high 30s, 40s. You're doing really, really, really well if you can hit that hit rate. We're nowhere close to that, but we're fighting for it, and we're scratching and clawing to try to get there, and I think we're trending in the right direction. I always told people that when we got the job, to win local in-state recruiting was not a 1 or a 2 or a 3-year process. It was a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year process, because you're basically, these kids, remember, they grew up watching not you. They grew up watching another organization, another team. So who were they a fan of when they were in 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade? That's when you're recruiting them. So what we've done the last 2 years in the program now is really recruiting the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th graders, right? So those 8th graders are now sophomores. Oh, whoa. All right, we may got a chance now, but it's not as fast as people think. It's not a magical coach comes in and be like, I'm from here, guys. Come join me. Let's all run it together. No chance. You've got to build a brand that they love when they're growing up, and that they say, how cool would that be to go there? And if you can build that when they get there, you got a chance. But it is a long-term project.
So I do play-by-play for Utah State, and they were hiring a coach. Well, they hire a coach a lot, but back in 2020-21, and the athletic director, John Hartwell, he ended up hiring a guy because there was this guy at Florida State that I think is going to be a freaking superstar. How soon did you really hone in on your philosophy of wanting to be a head coach? Because he identified this, and that was almost 7-8 years ago.
17 years old.
I thought I was going to Utah State.
Did you really?
I thought I thought I got the job. I was going. I thought I got really a fake interview there.
He made it seem like you turned him down.
What? No. I didn't. Yeah, that changed, altered my career pretty drastically. I thought I had it. I thought I was getting the job. I'm like, holy cow! I called my wife, and I'm like, I think I just did good in that interview. I know they weren't even supposed to interview me. He was flying to go see another candidate. Stopped by Tallahassee for a day to interview me, and they're like, my agent was like, you did really good. I'm like, well, that's fun. He's like, no, you got a chance. And I thought I had it, and everything happens for a reason, though. I wouldn't be at Arizona State. You don't know where it would have led. So, crazy story. You're the first person to ever know that information. That's pretty dialed right there.
Well, yeah, that athletic director kind of let me behind the scenes, but he made it seem like he goes, yeah, I missed out on this guy. He's going to be great. But anyway, that would have been a change in history, Coach, for sure.
Thankfully.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for coming by, Coach. Man. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Kenny Dillingham, head coach, Arizona State, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.